Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 62 and we're ready to move into Act 3. But before we do, we're going to talk to High Factotum Janrus Danrock. And we're going to talk to Ryza. I've already gone and looked at the Drusians. I grabbed everything that they could have, that they would let me have. Opticon doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff that's actually interesting, so we're done with him. We've grabbed everything from the Kazbalika mission. We got the important staff, but the Fellowship of the Void is the one that we haven't really done anything with yet. So we're going to grab the untradeable stuff. We're going to trade everything we can with them and see what it gets us. It's going to get us a lot, up to 10. And in fact, if we could come up with something else, heretic trophies, Xeno artifacts, jewelry. Okay. Let's see if I can grab anything else here that they'll take melee weaponry. So I just want to see about this. If we can get enough here. We got enough. That gets us to 11. Okay, let's see what they have. The Brink Walker Pendant. The wearer can move without provoking attacks of opportunity as long as they have less than 50% hit points. The Acid Splitter we don't care about. The Staff of Ennis Flame. This is a decent weapon for a pyro. 16 to 21 damage. Gains the Inferno ability. I'm curious about trying that sometime. Apex Predator Gloves. If the wearer, this is nice for our bounty hunter, maybe good for Pascal. If the wearer has already gained a bonus from Hunt Down the Prey, whenever they kill a target marked as prey, they gain a stacking bonus from this ability once again. That bonus duplicates the highest tier bonus from Hunt Down the Prey that the wearer has already gained. That's kind of nice. Or it could be for Yearlyet. Needle Pistol, which we don't really care. Melta Charges, nice to have a couple extra of those. An old shield, it has 35% block. The first use of a shield attack costs -1. It's not. Tactical Backpack, this is nice for Argenta. It grants +1 to a rate of fire. And a Foe Hammer Pistol Shotgun. The one thing I really wanted was the Swashbuckler Cloak. So can we get enough? Can we package up enough stuff to get this? We need 35 profit factor, which we have more than enough. We just need 12 reputation. Okay, that's the thing I really wanted. The Death World Body Glove. That would also be nice. +10 dodge against range attacks. +2 movement points. I'd like that, but this is the thing I really want, the Swashbuckler Cloak, because whenever the weapon where it has 2 melee weapons equipped, they gain +10 weapon skill and +15 critical hit damage. My own character is using what for a cloak? Oh, is using this thing. They said it's +2 for bleeding, burning, toxin effects. I'd rather have that cloak. So I'm going to see if I can package up enough stuff to get that. We basically sold everything and we've still come up short. We're just a tiny bit away. We're at 26,950 and we need 27,750. So we're not going to get there. That's all right. We'll get it when we come back from Act 3. So time to move on. Dargonis, here we come. Right here. This is going to be our group. This is who we'll take to Act 3. Myself, obviously. Cabela, she's a monster. Pascal, we've had him the whole time. We love him. Our buffer, our navigator, and she is going to do extra damage against Drukhari, which is great. I'm so tempted to take Argenta, but I really think this is probably going to be our best group, so we'll see. You're kind of locked in. Once you take your group, it's the one thing you need to be aware of in chapter 3 is you are locked into this group, and it's not going to change until you get out the other side. So here we are. We need to go see the Master of Ceremonies. Your Lordship, it is a great honor to serve you in an undertaking as monumental and glorious as the Magna Essatio ceremony. Then let us begin. May the Emperor be with us this day. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Rejoice, Von Valencia's subjects. In honor of his ascension, the new rogue trader generously shows you his favor. In this unfathomable benevolence, blah, 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 the rogue trader has decreed that every soul be given a day's rations and a personal fuel cell so that all may be fed and warm on this day. Praise the rogue trader's magnanimity. Unfathomable. That just does not roll off the tongue, does it? Oh, the servo skulls. Look at these guys, they're so cute. The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of Dargonus. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are at the apex of this world and all others. Amplified by 100 voxes, the voice of the master of ceremonies booms, "Rejoice, subjects of Dargonus! You have been granted the felicity of witnessing your master, a great honor bestowed upon us by the rogue trader Holt von Valencius. Gracious savior of Dargonus and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, may their unholy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Cleanser of Janus, who with one hand brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos, and with the other exterminated the despicable worshippers of the archenemy. Gracious protector of footfall, patron of trade." A hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battle of Dargonus. Like children, they await the word of their almighty father. "Fear not the coming day. Henceforth, you are all my charges." Joyful cries carry your name upward, beyond the atmosphere of Dargonus, all the way to the Emperor's throne. The commoners and nobility look upon you with adoration, and upon Yurliet with horror and curiosity. The sight of the Xenos standing at attention by your side strikes awe into their hearts. "I am impressed," Jai says. "Dargonus adores its ruler no less than we adore our rulers on Ifrit." Jai, who is at the epicenter of the adoration being lavished upon you, smiles radiantly and casually displays her gleaming gold bionic arm for the crowd's greedy gaze. "I like it, Shari." "Let the oath of the Von Valencius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me, your lordship. I, Holt, rogue trader by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness." You hear a rumble. It is the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. All right. Well, that was fun. Now what? Okay. Yeah, rumor. Why is that a rumor? That's interesting. The Emperor, enjoy the reception. Okay, talk to the rogue traders Winter Scale in Corda. Throne Room Palace. Alright. So we have to party. Where is this? Mundus Valencius. The Void Ship Bridge. Prefect Inscribia Voltaire. The Bon Valencius Palace. Alright. I will leave my clamoring subjects to enjoy their heat and food. I myself will go find some scrumptious dishes. one would hope. Is there food at this joint? Master of ceremonies, no. The sourbracks, the gapracks. Incendia cordia. Hieronymus doloroso. Halt! There you are. Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the nobler rogue traders. Incendia corda is watching him with a barely suppressed contempt. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Calcazar. At the very least, now you can enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with the one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower classes. Calcazar Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile, no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and the desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armor. His low forehead and gloomy face bear signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless like a pair of glass buttons. Incendia corda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tagging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in full dress uniform adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on footfall, gives you a respectful nod. Welcome to Dargonas, friends. Friends, eh? Would you look at that? Incendia. Now you have a whole friend. Winterscale gives you a carefree wink, but his posture exudes a challenge. Cordia says haughtily, I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity my friend. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect any different? I watched for years as outlaws thrived on footfall, and then at long last I had a chance to put an end to it, to seize that thug Vladium by the throat, to force footfall to atone, and put the fear of him back into the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She was too far less concerned with her duty to the expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the Ferrabunda system of the pirate scourge. And if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will have only yourself to blame. The priest holds up his hand in a placating gesture. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when true purity can never be found? Well, you threatened to starve Footfall. I brought them salvation. So which one of us serves the Emperor, and which their own unhealthy ambitions? Incendia rolls her eyes. Please, I will believe it no sooner than hearing word that half the population of that den of heresy has been sent into the void's embrace. I have faith that the Blessed Holt is perceptive enough to see the appalling nature of the residents of that depraved place. Hieronymus, your appearance here is unexpected. The esteemed Hieronymus is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey. May the Emperor's light guide your way across the abyss of human wickedness. I see. I take it you were not overly fond of Theodora. She was the same breed as... She stops short, then continues in a lowered voice. Conceited, insolent, and unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. I do not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. Asp. That must be Aspius. Aspius Corda. You remember the name. From what you recall, she was a rogue trader too, and a renowned one at that. Well, I, for one, liked Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to nameless stars. And yes, there was no fear in her. Winterscale sighs pensively, and his lively expression grows a little grayer. I thank you for your visit, Incendia. It will not be a long one, I assure you. Enjoy the... Calagos, thank you for your visit as well. Calagos gives you a cheerful and somewhat feral smile. I should be thanking you. I was almost certain that you would use my difficulties on Footfall as a means to bring that devious weasel Vladiam to heel and take the station for your own. It's what any rogue trader would have done. But you have proved yourself to be less predictable than that. Well then, since you have turned out to be a pleasant surprise and stopped Incendia from snatching my possession, I should reward you. Take this grim weapon. It performed superbly in battles against Xenos, and helped me acquire the more substantial gift I have brought. The thrill of the hunt. Big old one-handed chain weapon. Okay. Thwarting Incendia Corda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. He snaps his fingers and the armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human making. It's a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime, so you can show yourself in action, new blood. Calagos exuberantly punches you in the shoulder. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Calagos. You get the Eye of Hecaton, Aldari, 30 to 45, massive damage on that thing. And let's see, grants +5 movement points after each attack and allows the wielder to move after attacking. If an attack with this weapon hits 3 or more targets, this attack has no cooldown. 100% over penetration, so you want to shoot in a row with that thing. It's a laser weapon. That's fantastic. Yes, thank you for it. I'll give it to someone who can use it. Kill someone important with it. That would be the best show of gratitude. Enjoy the evening. I must take my leave. Oh, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the full. You justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, Holt. The Emperor protects. Does he now? Alright. Order the Master of Ceremonies to end the reception. I hope your lordship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard, if I may be so bold. Many guests have chosen to move into the fresh air and will be eager to offer you their congratulations. I see. Well, I am weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Your chambers are ready, but I must inform you that that servitor over there, the Master of Ceremonies points at a servitor standing in the corner dressed in your ship's livery, approached me and said that it has a message for you. Its speech was surprisingly fluent and expressive for a servitor, so I think someone must have put this message into it. The Master of Ceremonies drops his voice to a whisper. It could be a secret dispatch. I see. Well, alright, then I'll return to the guests. They will be delighted. What do I have to talk to a servitor in a corner? Which servitor in what corner? Oh, brother, now I'm going to have to find it. Our strange servitor is over by Pascal, here in this portion of the map. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to you and Holt von Valencius on attaining your new legal status. The servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. It quickly looks away upon realizing that you have noticed. What is this servitor? It is Nomos's new repository. Nomos. This unit identifies as Holt von Valencius. Two-way identification complete. The servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings, Nomos. The servitor leans forward. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. Nomos require communication, knowledge, movement. Majos Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Nomos have changed since we last spoke with you, Holt. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoy it. I see. Pascal, I believe you intended to investigate what Nomos is. Every 15 watches, I commune with Nomos' code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omnissiah has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is that the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. The ship's hallowed systems sing beneath its touch. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew. Nomos are trying. After a pause, Pascal continues. Great machines of the Imperium, one such as your ship, house a machine spirit so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from abominable intelligence. Oh, I like that. AI, abominable intelligence. That's what we should start calling it. I got a screenshot that I'm going to need it. There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entity of corruption. But with every day I grow stronger in my faith that it is not so, that what we are witnessing is, in truth, the Omnissiah's miracle, one that is category 5 or higher. How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us. This receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete whole. The existence of Nomos requires a space of connections. But we are able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside the ship. We are enjoying this journey, discovery. Even though this receptacle suits us poorly, it will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. It reminds me a little bit of Ancillary Justice, if you've never read that book series. It's a series written by Ann Leckie, and it covers that concept of a person who has been granted a oneness with a ship, and so there are multiple people that are all granted this ability, and they all share like a consciousness with the ship. And Ancillary Justice starts with one of these ancillaries people being disconnected from their ship because I think the ship got destroyed or something. I can't remember all of it, but it's a really fascinating book that she wrote. Nomos, what do you think you are? Nomos are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement, always movement. The servitor pauses briefly. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood, Holt von Valencius. The call and the plea for help near a place that is called the Warrant Chamber. Why have you brought it here, Pascal? Entity Nomos asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor. We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. The servitor makes a strange wavy gesture with its hand that looks at once very human and far from anything human. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Of course. What do you wish to speak about? Many things, happenings, events, decisions. The servitor's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us your blood to drink. We hoped to save yourself. We followed you. Our small part did, inside the servo skull. Then there was fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not listen to that which was calling from behind the curtain. You thought only about those who followed you and about the fire that could destroy those shells. We remember the day when the star disappeared, when the dark light and the sated hunger wanted to take the world. Rykad Minoris was its name in the ship's data. You let Rykad Minoris be consumed by the dark light, and consumed it was, along with every human shell who was begging for help. We remember another day. We awakened inside the ship. We lived in its systems. Then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. You ordered to have them killed. You felt sad. This is what we have seen among many other things. We have begun to understand. We think that we have. That we do not know everything about humans and about you, Holt von Valencius. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, their simple functions, but now we think that there is more, that there is another side that we do not see, a notion that is larger than what we can compute, something that stands above fears and needs, something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as a light, a web of light that connects humans. It may seem almost invisible, ephemeral, but it grows stronger when they are threatened. This web is always on your mind. When darkness comes, you want every thread that extends from you to shine bright so that those who follow do not lose their way. Whenever a thread breaks, it saddens you. Do Nomos understand correctly? Yes, you do understand correctly. Every thread that connects people, every life, their value is beyond measure. There is no greater reward than guiding others to salvation when all that surrounds us is darkness. We knew we could understand you. Light and movement, connections and help. We are enjoying this. Perhaps because we too are connected to you. Through blood, through life. Thank you for speaking with us. Nomos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. So, strange servitor is done. Order the master of ceremonies to end the reception. Well, we'll try that again then. I hope your lordship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself, yes, proceeding to the courtyard. Okay, well, I am weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Please allow me to escort you, your lordship. Okay, so now we can go. Oh yeah, here we go.
Guards! Intruder! Quiet. Time to sleep.
Heinrichs.
We need to talk in private.
Oh, Heinrichs, what's going on?
We have matters to discuss, von Valencius.
Yeah. The same man you saw among your guests is waiting for you in your chambers with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assessing gaze over you from top to bottom. No one, save Theodora, has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. The woman behind Calcazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of a professional bodyguard. I see. If the Inquisition wishes to have a talk with me, I'm glad to be at its service.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
The Inquisitor's sharp gaze is fixed on a point directly between your eyes.
Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brows, like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. What do you wish to know about the events on Janus?
Oh, I know it already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valencius, it is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's connivance allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power.
Theodora was the one who appointed Vistenza. What does that have to do with me?
As my colleagues like to say, innocence proves nothing. You have inherited not just Theodora's glory and wealth, but her mistakes as well.
But now Janus is pure once more. You can see for yourself. There will be a palace and everything you desire waiting for you on the planet.
Surely you're not trying to appease a member of the Inquisition with a bribe? Not the most prudent tactic on your part.
Okay, asshole. If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene then?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control.
Bullshit.
There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution.
All right, folks, we're going to lower the volume on this conversation, and I'm going to give you some post-production commentary here, in part because what happened during this very long conversation with Calcazar is that I went on a rant that made the previous rant from the viewer discretion advised episode seem very tame by comparison, and I don't want that out there. I'm very frustrated with this part of the game, and this is actually my least favorite part of the whole entire game, for several reasons. What happens during this conversation is that Calcazar is going to misconstrue everything that you have done, and he is going to show everything that you've done in the worst possible light and try to paint you as a traitor to humanity and the Imperium. What's disappointing to me about this is basically two things. The first is that it doesn't matter if you play as dogmatic, iconoclastic, or heretical, he's going to say the same things. And so that leads to the second part that really upsets me about this, which is that from a role-playing perspective, nothing that you did matters. Now, most of us love role-playing games in large part because of choice and consequence. And we love it when games respect our choices and give us consequences for those actions, even if they're not the greatest consequences. But I often bring up the point that role-playing games are not as good at choice and consequence as people think they are. And quite often the choices that we're given are illusionary. They give us a false sense of choice, but they actually don't matter. And that's what happens here. None of the choices that you've made up to this point actually matter, because Calcazar is going to approach this conversation exactly the same way every time, and he is going to misconstrue everything you've done and paint it in the worst possible light. And what makes me particularly angry and really dislike this part of the game right here in this conversation is that the writers don't give you any way to address it. During this entire conversation, all I wanted to do is throw down against Calcazar. Like, this man at a certain point in time insults me so gravely that if this were real life, I would just start shooting him. But you're not given anything to do in this conversation other than basically just take it up the ass. And I find that to be really bad writing. And that is just on the game developers. That's their fault for putting us in this situation and not giving us any way to remedy this or any other approach other than to just sit there and take it. So I hate this scene. And the most interesting thing that happened here was an unintended side effect. I started clicking through the conversation really quickly and did not realize that you can dismiss Heinrichs and not keep him as a companion at the end of this conversation, and that's exactly what I did, and I don't feel bad about that. I was so angry with this portion of the game and so disappointed by it, and so disappointed by my lack of options as a player in a role-playing game to deal with this guy, that I don't mind getting rid of his lackey. Besides, Heinrichs was basically a duplicate of my main character, so he's superfluous. He's unnecessary. Anyway, the point I wanted to make here was that I got very ranty here and I dropped a lot of F-bombs, and I just really don't like this part of the game. I don't like the way it's written. I don't like your lack of choice and consequence here. I don't like that you have no options for dealing with this conversation. And I really, really hate it. So we're going to move on to the more fun parts. We're going to shoot straight into Chapter 3.
The rise of the rogue trader Air restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal. The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
You have spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Effect Totem's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, and countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear the muffled sounds of Dargonis in its everyday life. The life that has been passing you by lately, as you have been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dawn till dusk. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once Janrix Danrock is finished, she pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factotum. Your work is highly appreciated, both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum. Your lordship, we are almost done here. Just need to go over the final items on today's agenda that I would like to report to you personally. Next. Lord Captain, news of a particular import has come from the House's intelligence network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Calcazar, and they are also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received reports claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of House Corda and Winterscale. It is possible that the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing an increased number of skirmishes between their ships in neutral systems. I do not doubt that her ladyship's Corda will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side, especially since his lordship Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue trader inflicted brutal punishment upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvia Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as we have any updates, you'll be the first to know, your lordship. Lastly, your pet Xenos, Yerliet, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. She had the audacity to defile the rogue trader's palace with her profane presence and refuses to leave until she has spoken with you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of Xenos, but the Aldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void ship of some sort. It may be the best if she told you everything directly. And with that, please allow me and Master Danrock to take our leave. Perhaps that last request will serve as a welcome distraction? Indeed, your lordship's stay on Dargonis has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of relative stability that, for the time being, no longer demands your lordship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the rogue trader. Yes, my friend, so where is our... There she is. Elentak, at last you have left your ornate cage. For many a turn have I sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who is like the silver-haired Abelard but twice as young, has no favor for the requests of a child of Assyrian. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal the words intended for you. While you were mending the wounds of this world left by the Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover, no, not Kruderak's fate, merely traces of it. As Miran found sanctuary under the boughs of the Lilithon's forest, so did my other kin find refuge in a system known as the Atlas Reach. We must make a journey there with haste, before new dangers destroy the witnesses who can show me a way to the lost Kruderak, whose fate remains shrouded by the stars. Yerliet focuses her piercing gaze on you. Their knowledge is the sole thread that may lead me to the truth, Elentak. I ask that your metal-winged ship take me along that thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. I see. How were you able to contact those Eldari? I did not contact the Assyriani. I have no means to do so. But I had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with your urgent matters. The path of the outcast has taught me to observe and listen to the world around me. In this case, the throngs of Mon Ki at the port. Errant conversations, rumors, and chance words, like parts of a speckled mosaic. They came together to form a hazy image. My kin were seen in the Atlas Reach, And now all we have to do is pull at the web of connections and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the unseen eye. Well, give me the coordinates. I shall take you wherever you wish to go. You will? The ice in Yurliet's eyes melts away for a moment. Thank you, Elentah. If this path indeed takes me to the truth, I will be indebted to you. A rare happening between our kinds. Okay. Well then. Next. Now what do we have to do? Troubling developments. Wait for news from the Bon Valencia spies. Travel to the Atlas Reach system. Then that we shall do. Someone's got a cyber eagle. Curiosity merchant. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lucarius Carmelin, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my offerings. I see. What kind of offerings do you sell? Equipment for noblest cyber assistance, of course. The demand is modest, as few of the Imperium can afford such luxury, but I am glad to have found my calling. Judging by his expensive attire and ostentatious augmatics, Lucarius' wealth is unlikely to stem directly from his curiosity business. He came here following his heart, it seems, and not his greed. Well, let's see what you have. So he's got all this stuff. Cybermaster, I mean, you might as well. You can grab it all if you want to. I think one of the things I'm going to do in a future playthrough is play one of these classes. Familiar maintenance. Because one of the things I think is I don't really enjoy his class, his archetype. He's a soldier and an overseer, and I just don't think it works very well together. I think an officer and an overseer, though, might be a pretty cool combination, and I would like to see how that would work. So I think that's going to have to be a playthrough here on my own, on my off time, is to see how that all shakes out. In the meantime, glory to the rogue trader. So we'll get this underway. All right, my friends, to the next place. And so the map says, where do we need to go? Right there, Atlas Reach. Okay. We can get there from there. Great. We'll have to spend some points to make it safe. I don't imagine we'll need to spend too many here, so let's spend 2 points and make it semi-safe. Acolytes of the cult Mechanicus have reported a disturbing incident. All Vox systems on the middle deck started broadcasting otherworldly sounds, whistling a haunting melody. The strains of monstrous music drove people into a frenzied dance that could not be stopped. Several hours later, the Vox devices fell silent and the dancing crew members fell lifeless. The area was cleared and the bodies of the deceased were disposed of with the necessary precautions. That doesn't sound fun. Okay. Let's get it back over here. Where are we at? Visit. Lord Captain, according to our telemetry, we arrived at the coordinates you specified. The augurs do not register any activity on the surface of local planets, biological or otherwise. But maybe the Xenos are using their arcane technology to conceal their presence. Despite this, the augur crew managed to locate a faint signal at the system's edge. According to their data, it is coming from an unidentified vessel drifting in orbit of a local gas giant. My kin could have been faced with a new threat. Scavengers like pirates or something worse. If they were taken prisoner, Yurliet's voice is trembling with something that could be either anger or fear. I'm begging you, Elentok, let us go to the shuttle. I can feel that the thread of fate is frayed and is about to snap. I cannot miss what may be the only chance to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of my home. Oh, really? So we're going to scan some stuff over here. There's Plasteel, and there's Abandoned Tech Priest Base. We get some stuff, and everybody leveled up, so that's nice. There's an asteroid over here. Lord Captain, there is an unusual cluster of binary asteroids before us, rich in rare metals and valuable minerals. They are moving in fairly stable orbit, which suggests the possibility of constructing a mining station inside the drift. Oh, really? And then nothing comes of it. And here is your big chunk of adamantine. That's nice. There's some space dust over here. Lord Captain reporting. Our void ship has passed through a cosmic cloud of dust of unknown origin. Unfortunately, the dust particles were covered with an icy shell that has frozen into a thick sheet on the void ship's hull, blocking some of the technical vents. It will take time for the servitors to clear the ice. Until then, our maneuverability will be somewhat reduced. Ship took a little damage there. Got some trophies. Hull repair. Okay, let's go do level ups for everybody. Heinrichs is gone, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. We ditched him. Let's start at the end here. That's where I'm at on the sheet. Let's go to Solomor. What's going on? Oh yeah, Exemplar. So for Exemplar number 1 for him, I have Eager for Battle and Trace the Trajectory. Eager for Battle is a great one for everybody. During the first turn of combat, the character has 2 additional action points. Pretty much everybody gets that. And then Trace the Trajectory. Whenever the soldier successfully dodges or uses cover against an enemy's attack, they gain a guaranteed critical hit against the enemy. That's nice. Alright, Excel spreadsheet. Scroll left. Idira. Everybody gets to be an exemplar. She gets Eager for Battle and Blazing Inferno. Blazing Inferno. Down here, right there. Critical hit chance increased by +1% until the end of combat every time the psyker deals damage by any means. Argenta. Eager for Battle and Muzzle Velocity. Right there. The first hit of each range burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Very nice for her. Jai Hedari. Eager for Battle and Be Vigilant. So where is Be Vigilant? Right here. Allies under the effect of the officer's abilities gain a bonus to their weapon skill equal to 11 and will deal 8 more damage on attacks of opportunity. Oh, that's wonderful because she is your buffer. Juliet. You're going to get... So I didn't give her Eager for Battle. I give her Masterful Precision instead. Okay. See about that. Masterful Precision. Deadeye Shot deals an additional 16% damage. Following range attack abilities gain Deadeye Shot benefits. Bounty Hunters claim the bounty and Master Tacticians finish the job. Okay, and Bounty Hunters Wild Hunt. Okay, we'll do that. And Tides of Excellence. Whenever the operative triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operative gains +1 damage and +2% armor penetration until the end of combat. Only applies to the first strike or projectile in a burst attack, and it stacks. That's dumb. She doesn't do burst attacks. So we should do something like Sniper Expertise, which she's going to take later. So let's do that. Sniper Expertise, and then we're going to have to put question marks there and figure out what that is on the spreadsheet later. Sniper Expertise, perfect spot additionally grants 13% armor penetration against enemies that are 7 cells away or further. Yeah, I don't know why I took what I took there and wrote that down on the Excel spreadsheet? Because that is not correct. She doesn't do burst attacks. Kibella. Of course, she should be taking Eager for Battle and Race Against Death. Race Against Death? What does that do for her? The Blade Dancer's maximum wounds are increased by the Blade Dancer's dodge divided by 10. Ooh. More maximum wounds, we like that. Pascal, my operative friend. You're going to get eager for battle and sharpshooter. You already have sharpshooter. Well, that's interesting. Okay, eager for battle and sharpshooter, which you already have, so we have to pick something else. Well, this will be interesting. So we are going to take sniper expertise with him too, because the thing that was selected on my Excel spreadsheet was not a good choice. He already had sharpshooter. We're going to grab sniper expertise, and then later on when we're supposed to take sniper expertise, we'll grab something else. Make a note about this. And we'll figure that out later. Excel, why are you such a pain in the butt? Okay. Gotta make more notes here. Gotta make notes. Alright. Now, Pascal's done. Let's go down here to Abelard, my friend. Abelard, you're going to get, I would assume, the same thing. Oh, under Exemplar, we have a different thing for him. Tough as steel and defensive stance. Okay. Tough as steel gains an additional 12 wounds. They're further increased by toughness. Okay. Tough as steel and defensive stance. The warrior has not attacked this turn. They gain plus 24% armor. Charge and slash do not affect this bonus. Pagos, who used to be Cassia. You get eager for battle and lasting impression. Lasting impression? Where is that at? Right here. Half of the bonus granted by voice of command remains until the end of combat. This bonus does not stack with itself or with bonuses granted by voice of command, but does count as an officer ability effect for the purpose of other talents. The target of lasting impression does not count as having a voice of command effect. They only gain bonuses to their characteristics. Okay, we'll take that. And then me. And last but not least. Hello, Excel. Would you like to, work, please? Thanks. Exemplar. And of course, we're going to get eager for battle. And then what? Eager for battle and Psychote Extremis. We get to go up one more. Yay. Okay. All right, my friend. We're here. Let's go to the Chartist Vessel. This is our crew. This is who we're going to take. Again, almost want to take Argenta, but we're going to go with this. We need Yurlia anyways. She has to be here for this. So, Chartist Vessel. Okay. Explore the void ship. What's going on here? The lanky, haggard-looking officer with sunken cheeks stares at you in fright. His body is shivering as if from a feverish chill, and his eyes are darting back and forth anxiously. Your lordship, rogue trader, what brings you to our humble ship? Stop shivering like a leaf in the wind, monkey. Answer me. Have you seen others like me in this system? If you have, tell me where, when, and under what circumstances your paths crossed and diverged afterward. The officer's eyes widen at the sight of Yurliet. His face grows even paler than before, and his lips move in a wordless prayer, unable to utter a word in response. What did you just say? Rogue trader? How would a mere officer know who's standing in front of him? Jaya's face changes, and she immediately grips the handle of her weapon. Who are you? We are... The officer swallows, gives you a strange look, and then closes his eyes. Emperor, forgive me. It's the old knock him out.
I'm beginning to think that your kind is eager to step into our snares.
You gasp, sucking in the poisoned air, each breath scorching your insides with liquid fire from throat to lungs. Every cell in your body is engulfed in maddening pain, as if you are being doused in molten metal, skinned alive, and subjected to yet another form of torture. You hear sounds coming from somewhere far away, the moans of your people, the shuffling of bare feet, the light footsteps slowly getting closer. Rogue Trader, a long-awaited meeting indeed. You can barely see anything through the haze of agony, but you still remember the voice well. The voice of the Xenos who devastated your capital world. Marazai's face is hidden behind a helmet, but his tone leaves no room for doubt. He is smirking. Urieliat, who is writhing in pain next to you, is barely able to breathe out. No. What have you done? Are you satisfied? Dissatisfied, my kin? I promised that you would have your precious craft world survivors, and so you will. I will take you to them. I might even be there to witness your jubilant reunion. Servo drives wine under the tech priest's scarlet robe in a dogged but fruitless attempt to lift his body. The inferior flesh has betrayed me. You must have punished it poorly, Iron Monkey. No matter. As a captive, you will learn how to apply the art of torture to make it fear the very thought of betrayal. Cabela reaches for her weapon with one hand while trying to support herself with the other. What could intoxicants overpower me? I was warned that one of the Monkey was fond of experimenting with incapacitating substances. This gas contains something prepared just for you. With a gloating sneer, the Xeno steps on her head, pushing it to the floor with a crunch. Devious Xenos. I will see you both dead. Urieliat, you deceitful wretch. Urieliat tries to respond, but the best she can muster is a tormented groan. What a display. Did you truly put your trust in my cousin? Did you think that between a Monkey and her blood brother she would choose you? Marazai's laughter drips with poison. Remember this and never forget it. You are an animal. When we have need of Monkey, we use you. When we require something more, we turn to our equals, just as Urieliat turned to me. His last words fill your head like the deafening echo of a ship's siren. The gas creeps deeper into your lungs, eating away at them hungrily as the agony spreads down your every limb. You are suffocating. Are you enjoying the sensation? I had this poison made for you. Who could have thought that a Monkey would one day earn such an honor? A special gift from a Dracon. But you're suffering. I knew the taste would be exquisite were I to add a touch of Dukari's talent for extracting anguish. However, there will be time for that later. No matter how I wish to play with you all one after another, I need you for a purpose, Rogue Trader. Kimura awaits you. All of you. Mandrakes, take them. Leave none behind. And this is how we end up in a very bad place. And this is basically the official start now of Chapter 3. Everything up to then was just getting us to this point. So folks, this really is kind of where Chapter 3 starts, and this episode's already gone on long enough, so we're going to end here. I will see you all on the next episode where we will thrust ourselves into Chapter 3 forthwith. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.